Flight Boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel, and Dolo here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, I need you to understand that you control what you see in the Yang realm. You control what you see in the Yang realm, in the external realm. And I don't think, see, people are so lost in receiving, and they're so lost into what they're consciously aware of, that they can only understand things from the point of view of what they're consciously aware of. And what they're consciously aware of is outside of them. And what's outside of them is a person, place, or thing, or location. And a person don't even know how to come to any conclusion if it don't have anything to do with a person, place, or thing, or location. So when you got humans on this earth like this, they confuse their subconscious, their soul. They confuse the yin realm with the yang realm and think that the yang realm is all there is, or think that it's the same and think it's one of the same, and it's not. I need you to understand this. You have, for all my people who are even into the third eye, first eye, or anything like this, you need to understand what it is. You need to understand that you see there before you see with these two eyes. And I'm going to explain to you how, from my soul, I'm going to explain to you how you get it confused and fucked up, and how we need to backtrack that a little bit. See, your yin realm, which is your soul, your internal realm, right? You judge a lot of things first from an outside point of view. So when you see a person, place, or thing, or a location, then that's when you start to develop an emotion and feeling. So you lack the energetic force already of creating your own emotions and feelings. Because here's what happens. See, in the yin realm, that's where the one eye take place. So that's where you realize something. So when you see something there, you see a broader perspective than you see in the left brain point of view. In the right brain, you see a larger perspective. It's dimensionless. So you can see the shape and form of the situation. Now, with the left brain and in the conscious realm, you can only outline and play your part in that circumstance or that situation. And make math out of it. And look at the shapes and forms that is taking place. But the circumstance and situation as a whole is how it looks. This is where you can say that, man, I got a bunch of bills, or I got a bunch of situations, or I got into a bunch of beef. That'd be the math of it, the shape and form, what you need to do to get out of it, using your logic. The right brain, the internal realm, will be, okay, what was the cause and effect of that situation from the get-go? What kind of frequency, vibrational state was you in to manifest that circumstance? What person, place, or thing was you around, and what energy vibration was you receiving within yourself that you were staying in that made you experience that? You see what I'm saying? What kind of mind frame was you in to attract those energies, to attract that creation, that bacteria, that creation? Cree, a group of bacteria that's high resistant. A, point of reference for the first time, Tor, from a high mountaintop or a high place or a high rock. So that when that bacteria formulate as that information, and you have to figure out once you go in that form, that's when you're going to start to see the shapes and forms of what's taking place. So, you know, you went into that, but you don't understand that you've seen it first. If you experiencing jail or bondage externally, then you already was experiencing it internally first. So you see what something was coming. But a lot of people don't, based upon the illusions that they under, and them confusing the yin with the yang, confusing the internal with the external, or trying to say it's one and the same. Now here's the thing, right? People want to see love, value, appreciation, compromising every day. But are they seeing it? Are they realizing it with their real eye? Do you wake up and see love? And that don't have anything to do with any external representation. When you get up, do you be in the energy of love? Do you realize what love is? And as long as you in that energetic force, that's what you're going to see. You see what I'm saying? So if you wake up in that energetic force, that's what you're going to see. So when you see representations that don't have nothing to do with love or whatever like that, you know how to cancel that out, and you know how to see the love in it, because you see it first. So when you see it externally in the external world, as it taking a shape and form, you're able to see the love and the feeling in that. See, but a lot of people get confused with the internal and the external and claim that they're one, to the point that now they have to use what they're consciously aware of as a crutch. They have to use something outside of them, a person, place, or thing, or a location outside of them, to be a representation of love or appreciation or value. So when they don't get to experience that, they don't get to experience love and appreciation. They worry and stress out and try to logically do things to put themselves in a situation where they can go back to that person, place, or thing, or location that make them experience the love vibration, where they could have just been in it in the first place and attracted that situation a lot faster than trying to take shortcuts like the left brain likes to do. Now we finna get deep in this motherfucker. This shit always want to die when a nigga about to get deep in this motherfucker. See what I'm saying? But this is what you need to understand. Stop putting all your own emotion, stop putting all your soul, all your own vibrations, and stop putting it, making it responsible to others. See what I'm saying? You put your own internal world, you put the responsibility of your own internal world onto others. Onto shit outside of you. Anytime you need something outside of you, now those things outside of you is here to experience. Don't get it fucked up. But you can't put too much of your internal realm into that, because you will lose yourself. So you'll lose your inner self into that thing that was outside of you. So now that thing that's outside of you plays a representation of what was inside of you. And you lost inside of you into that. So now you need that thing outside of you in order to find yourself again. And when you don't have it, you don't have yourself. So you drive yourself crazy when you don't have that person, place, or thing that shows as a representation of yourself. So this is why we get blind. This is why I say you need to start creating your own emotions and feelings. And you could do that with fruit. And you could do that with things of that nature. There's a lot of people, motherfucking 13 Cosmic Law Astrology. My homeboy Dark Lord Lakilio Sai said that way in 2013. You know what I'm saying? Create your own motherfucking emotion and you can do that with fruits and certain gems, gemstones, and certain rocks, you know what I'm saying, and certain things that you have collected. You know what I'm saying? You could do it with change or whatever. You could take a penny, take a nickel, you know what I'm saying, take a quarter, take something else, and give them an expression, and keep these expressions on you. Say this is like a learning expression. Say this is this dime right here. Oh, this is a dime. Say this dime is a loving expression. Say this one is, and the nickel is a communicative expression. So every time you see these, you start to subconsciously train your mind to, every time you see a nickel or a dime, it represents the dime represents the loving energy, and the nickel represents the communicative energy. Now this is if you're a person who still need a crutch of something outside of you. This is how you can slowly train yourself to not needing anything. Now anytime you see these, it puts you in that field. So it reminds you of how to feel. So whatever situation you're going through, if you see a nickel, right, it's going to remind you to think logically or something like that. Because like I said, this is how to communicate the feeling that make you feel like that, to make you feel like you need to receive some information. So every situation you go through, whether it's bad, good, happy, sad, or whatever like that, you're receiving knowledge and information out of that situation. You see what I'm saying? So you're not going to see the bad or the good out of it. You're only going to see what kind of information I can get out of it. Every time you see a dime, whatever situation you're going through, if the dime represents emotions and love and passion, then it's going to remind you to feel like that. So even if you're going through a hatred situation, you're going to be reminded to get into the love vibration. See, and what you see manifests, and it takes shape and form, and it's universal law. You have no choice but to experience that. So the more you stay in that vibration, the more you start to manifest that vibration to you. And it comes to small portions, bigger portions, to a large portion. For an example, say you live a fucked up life, but you are a happy person. So when you wake up, right, you find things to be, you end up seeing your life. It might not be nothing to be happy about in your life, but since you are in a happy situation and you're not pushing something external, if you're not having something outside of you as a representation of your happiness, then you're going to see the happiness even in your fucked up situation. So then that's going to be a small part, right? Then that's going to manifest. Then you're going to start seeing happiness in other areas. Then that's going to manifest to the point that you end up manifesting a situation where you truly have something to be happy for outside of you. You end up feeling your way right up out of that situation physically and externally in reality, in some way, shape, or form. And it might not be in the way, shape, or form how you coming up with, but it's going to be that experience of that frequency that you put out in the universe, which is that idea. And you gave it legs to walk on because you expressed it every day. You was in it yourself. And then God come in all different ways, shapes, and forms. So it comes in, it's going to play through many different people, places, and things, and things you can consciously perceive. You know what I'm saying? God only going to give you how much you can handle. So it's going to come in a way that you can perceive it. So it's going to come into little circumstances and situations in your life that appear to make you happy, even if you're in a fucked up situation. And then those situations are going to get better and better and better and better because you're in that vibration. So that's just like if you're around somebody, right? And you're only going to see what you want to see from them, regardless of the action that they're showing you externally. But people get lost in the external, and then they place all that into that. So that's like people in business and law. They care more about a person's actions and what a person is saying, and then they have more faith into that. They have more faith into the external version of that, in the language of it in law, and then that's what they place their internal realm into. So they're lost, they'll be lost without that external person, place, or thing that they learned that from. You see what I'm saying? So to get back to that area, they always have to regroup, relook. Anything that's dealing with the RE, going back. You know what I'm saying? So you have to keep that in mind. You know, people put too much of their inner world in the external world when they don't realize that the internal world creates the external world. So you're creating what you're seeing, and now you're putting what you created, you're putting all your eggs in that basket, in that one energy force. And if it's something outside of you, you already lost. You gave your source away. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn. Air.